Hey guys, this is Sarah and today I'm doing a book review. Today's book review is for Seeker by Arwen Elys Dayton. I received an ARC of this book from NetGalley and Random House Children, so thank you guys so much for letting me read this book early. Because this book has not been released yet, I am going to do this review only with my critical section. Once the book is released, I will be adding an emotional section to my review on Goodreads. So if you'd like to check my thoughts on that section, make sure you add me as a friend on Goodreads. Without further ado, let's get started. I give the plot of this book 4 out of 5 stars. Usually with high fantasy books, you have a few chapters that are world building. You get introduced to the world and the characters, and it's a little bit slow in the beginning. With this book, it's not like that at all. You're sort of thrown into the plot, and you have to figure out what's going on for yourself. There's no explanation, there's no world building, there's none of that. You just get thrown into this girl's life, this family business, and you have to try to figure out for yourself what that family business is, who the people are in this story, and what is going on. So obviously that makes it a bit confusing at first, but once you get into the rhythm and you start figuring out what's happening, the tempo picks up. But there is this strange thing where it has kind of like sections. You have a soft section and you have an action section, and you have another soft section and you have an action section. So it's sort of like a wave. You have the calm, then the storm, and then the calm, and then the storm. And it was a good thing and a bad thing. It was a very interesting approach, but for my taste, I like fantasy books to be action-packed, mystery-packed, tension-packed. So it was a little bit confusing and turned me off a little bit. You have sections of chapters that are kind of like the lull before something new happens, and you get into emotion again, and you pick up, and it's all action and fights and whatever, but it's not constant. I gave the writing style 4 out of 5 stars as well. It was very straightforward, not incredibly poetic, but still very interesting, and it was really easy to flow through and to get sucked into. But one of the things that I didn't like is there's a lot of sharp breaks between points of view. You get snippets of plot from a character's point of view, sometimes 3 pages, sometimes 2 pages, sometimes 10 pages, and it was kind of like cutting me off a few times. I get used to a character's point of view and get comfortable, and then bam, another one. And then I get comfortable again, boom, another one. So it took a while to get used to that rhythm as well, not just with the plot that was sort of hard to get into, but as well as the writing style and how the chapters were cut up and how the point of views were cut up. But once it did, it made a lot of sense for why the author picked the breaks that she did, but you have to kind of get used to it. I gave the characters 3.5 out of 4 stars, and that's because of a few reasons. We have technically 4 main characters. There are the 4 young adults that are part of this book. The most important, supposedly, is Quinn, our main character, and I found her to be very confused, sort of caught between what she's always been taught, her family's taught her, and what her job is to be, and sort of like her own personal morals and values and the things that she wants to do with her life. And it was understandable but a little bit frustrating how she'd bounce back and forth and back and forth. She really, really wants to be a good person. She strives to be a good person, and it's sort of like she doesn't know how to make that dream happen for herself. And it was always a back and forth on how do I become the person that I want to be, which was actually really interesting, and it gave a lot of room for her character development, which I really enjoyed, and it's something that a lot of people can relate to. We then have Shinobu, who is sort of, kind of, a little bit related to Quinn, and they're both being trained in this family business. And I found him to be very strong, very self-assured, very confident, which is a great contrast to Quinn, who is not like that at all. And he was like that for at least the first part of the book. Something happens and sort of like his character gets thrown off to the wayside and he becomes very different. And I found that to be very realistic, and I love the way that she sort of developed him that way. It's hard to explain until you read the book, but he has falls and he has pitfalls and highs and lows, and I found him to be very realistic with what he was going through in his life, not only with the family business, but just in general, where they are and that type of things. And it was very, very refreshing to Quinn's type of up and down, which seemed very annoying to me at times. His up and downs were much more realistic and much more real to me, and I connected him with him more than all the other characters combined. I'm not going to talk about the other two characters much because they play a very big part of the book. Not any more than Quinn and Shinobu, but a more spoilery part of the book, and I don't want to give you guys anything away, but I will say that they were also very contrasting characters. It's kind of like, here's one group, here's another group, sort of. And I found them to give a lot of depth and feeling to the book. These other two characters do various things with a sense of duty. They have a very, very strong sense of responsibility and promises and oaths, which is what drives them to do what they do, good or bad. So overall, I gave this book 5 stars. I really, really liked it. The plot was very good. I thought it was something new and interesting, and the combination between high fantasy and science fiction that blended together was very unique. But I did have a few issues, not only with characters, but with some plot points in general, which I will talk about in my Goodreads review on my emotional section. Despite those few small things that I did not enjoy, I will definitely be keeping on with this series. I really, really want to know what happens. You don't get left at a cliffhanger, but things sort of left unresolved, and I really, really want to know what happens. I know I have to wait like a year or something for that to come out, but whatever, I'm going to do it. Miss Marathon Reader is going to wait for a book. I know you guys, I know. So I hope you liked this video. Let me know if I talked a little bit confusing at parts. I find it very hard to talk about a book without spoiling it. I'm trying to work on it. Please be patient. But if there were some things that you were kind of confused on, please comment down below and I'll try to explain it as best I can without giving away the book. Please, please check out this book. I really, really want to know what you guys thought and share my feelings about this with some people. I think that it can be a very great series, and I think it can only get better from where we started. So I really wish that more people could read this and we can chat about it. This book comes out February 10th, so keep an eye out for it on your local bookstore. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!